Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spooky Night! Every single year, it turns out, I do sometimes intend to do another Donkey Ollie episode in between Halloweens, and I never get around to it. And then when Halloween's approaching, it's like a term paper. Well, it is the night before, so maybe I should work on it. It is Halloween time. Welcome to Halloween time. Today, of course, we are checking out the spookiest thing that could have ever possibly been invented, Donkey Ollie. Now, if I recall, Donkey Ollie was, I don't know, in Egypt, I think. He was in Egypt, and he'd been kidnapped by Pharaoh, and then he was asked to join in on the chariot race. Today, we are going to watch Donkey Ollie, episode 8. Can't believe that we've come so far. I don't know what to say about this. It's Donkey Ollie. Let's just watch it.
Hello, everybody. Hi, everyone. There's a lot of people out there who might not like what you say.
Especially you, Sharon.
No, Ollie, it's you. You're the one who has a lot of things to say that people don't like.
That's right, Ollie.
So the episode starts off the way they always do, with a recap of the previous episode.
Last time, Jehu and Ollie arrived in Egypt, trying to find Jehu's niece and nephew. Rupert came along as well, and they befriended the Pharaoh's son, Ramses.
If you really like chariots, Barshed can show you how to ride one. There are several other places on the Nile.
There are 7 places on the Nile.
A chariot race?
Oh yeah, I remember. So like, Barshed promises to help Jehu learn chariot race, then he sings about Charlie Brown.
Jolly well will be faster than the regions of hell. Jolly well.
Meanwhile, Ollie and Rupert are sharing the plan of salvation with Pharaoh's son and his girlfriend. Or sister or something.
Ollie told Ramses and Alondra about his experience with Jesus.
So, they're sticking with the whole, all of this is happening post-Jesus. So are they implying that in the Donkey Ollie universe, in the Donkiverse, Moses stuff happens after Jesus died on the cross? Okay. Let my children go.
I've never heard it explained like that.
'Cause it's wrong. That's when Donkey gives us the most prolific and amazing salvation message I've ever heard.
Your spirit is going to live forever in either heaven or hell. And if you trust in him and not yourself, you can go to heaven.
My only question is, where will Rupert be? Heaven or hell? Because, that's really gonna affect my choice, to be honest.
When is he going to take us away?
When is it gonna end?
When you die.
Oh, okay. I've never heard the gospel put so clearly and simply and yet still so confusing.
I can help you pray if you want. I can help you die if you want.
Editing is fun.
Die.
Well, if Donkey Ollie's fire and brimstone message wasn't enough to convince you, let's hear a testimonial from Rupert.
I did. It made me feel a whole lot better.
Oh, really? Well, I wasn't going to become a Christian, but now that I know that this raven felt better, you got me.
In fact, I even made up a little song to my prayer.
No!
I love that.
There was a Futurama episode where they go to a museum of like the 20th century. Fry is there, but he's such an idiot that he doesn't pick up on all of these anachronisms.
I direct your attention to this ancient and mysterious tablet, which has yet to be deciphered.
It all started with Gerald Ford's famous invention, the automocar, 20th century assembly line, where cars were constructed by primitive robots.
That's what this reminds me of. It's just somebody who vaguely read the Wikipedia about the Bible and now is making a Bible story about it, but having a donkey in there for some reason.
I've never heard it explained like that. I believe it now.
I do too.
If Donkey Ollie's door-to-door ministry is so on point that it convinces Ramesses and Small Teeth of the saving power of Jesus Christ, then I want to hear it. I'd love to hear it. I need to hear. Then we get a little song by Rupert, unfortunately.
What's the matter? Never seen a pelvic thrust from a raven before?
Well, that's when we get this completely unsolicited total confession of Rupert's past sins.
I've been so bad sometimes, I don't know what else to say. I've told some fibs, I've stole some things.
When is he going to take us away?
When you die.
Now I'm sorry.
Why do they keep thinking Rupert is a good idea? Why?
I wanna go to heaven.
like freaking hell.
There's no one else to blame.
What is there to say about this? Then Rupert can't even finish the song. He just like burps the rest of the song.
You better pray. I think this bird is the 11th plague.
God, I've been so bad sometimes.
Like that time I thrusted at the camera.
I'm sorry.
You know, I don't think you are.
Jesus died for me.
Oh, the song's still gonna keep going, I see. If you can believe it, this isn't even the worst Rupert song we're gonna get in this episode. All right, back off, camera guy. Rupert just ate an antacid and is about to explode. Stop it! Why did they show us that?
I feel different.
Me too. This is really real.
It's really real, kids. And if you don't feel different after you prayed a prayer, you probably aren't saved.
I'm going to hell.
Well, after all of that singing, Ramses has the bright idea to take these animals back to the Pharaoh, his father, to tell him about this new religion.
You can tell my father about Jesus.
I know you're really excited, Ramsey.
I see the Lord has hardened your heart.
But not everyone believes it.
He will. If only he didn't hate Hebrews so much. If only Jesus wasn't a Hebrew.
Ah, yes, the Mel Gibson conundrum. Man, I love Jesus Christ. If only he wasn't a Hebrew, that'd be great. Jeez Louise. Then we cut over to the slave kids and our lashing friend. Remember him?
You think your sniveling will get you anywhere with me? You're a slave, zombie.
Wait, zombie?
I don't care how you feel.
Interesting that they haven't written this character out of the show, but that's just me.
You'll be lucky to ever work again. Get up and start picking.
This guy gets more episodes than Paul, and Paul wrote the Bible. What are they doing? Filling baskets of flowers?
Do you think we'll ever escape this madness? We can always hope for a Moses to command the Pharaoh to let his people go.
So far, I feel like there's like this plausible deniability to say, okay, maybe the whole like let my people go thing is happening after because history repeats itself. If we don't learn from history, we're doomed to repeat it. But no, Moses exists now after Jesus. Well, just like the prophets of old, the movie prophetically gives us a novelty Halloween song.
All you little zombies better be at work. Do exactly as you're told or really make you hurt.
He'll do the lash. He'll do the monster lash.
This is the darkest show I think I've ever seen.
You'll be too busy to ever think about ever going home.
To ever think about ever going home. At least the disgusting, scary-looking animation makes sense in this dark universe. Well, let's hop over to the Pharaoh, because I want to see how he's reacting to his son flippantly converting to a new religion he learned about from a talking donkey.
Ramses, my son, I've been told you've brought along some very special friends.
Unfortunately, the Pharaoh's just too anti-Semitic to be impressed with these magical animals.
They're from Israel.
Israel?
But don't worry, I think young Ramses has learned a thing or two in his debate class.
You yourself have acquired Israelites as slaves.
That's a powerful point.
Should I be any different in acquiring some pets from Israel? Besides, these are special.
I mean, look at that mouth.
Jesus Christ. They sing.
Well, gosh darn it, they sing. But despite all of Ramses' diplomatic efforts to save Donkey Ollie and Rupert's life, Donkey Ollie just can't help but be a jackass.
You sit there so high and mighty, acting like a god on your throne. You're no better than
More of our favorite thing, which is people being surprised that things can talk.
But you become so hard-hearted, your face is turned to stone.
They just insist on convoluting the scripture, don't they? Apparently, Ollie not only is the donkey that carried Jesus into Jerusalem, he's also Moses.
Let it go, Mr. Pharaoh, let the children go.
You can keep the adults, Just give me the children. I think the worst part about this episode is how it does parallel very loosely Prince of Egypt. So we already have a musical that is extremely well done about this story. Remember, Simba. Remember the children. At this point, the Pharaoh is almost convinced. But then Ollie keeps singing and ruins it.
So young and happy.
And this really was Donkey Ollie's biggest mistake because he goes to prove that he has the classic fundamental misunderstanding of what is truly morally wrong about slavery.
If you could just pay them a fair wage.
Ollie, it's not the lack of a fair wage that makes slavery wrong. It's the involuntary compulsion. That's when the Lord hardens Pharaoh's heart.
Let them go, Mr. Pharaoh.
I don't think his name was Mr. Pharaoh, actually. Let them go. Let them go.
I can't believe that a donkey and raven can sing.
Of course, who could? That is so Raven.
But it's going to take more than a singing donkey and raven for me to release my slaves.
It's a little sad that the Pharaoh sees for the first time a donkey and a raven sing, and all he can think about is the fact that they're calling him out for having child slavery. Come on, Pharaoh. Get with the times, bro. Well, that's when we get a pretty intense rant from Pharaoh.
I shall have Lucius increase their quota of flax. My son, I hardly would have expected this treachery from one of my own blood.
Father?
No, son. You've already caused me too much grief for one evening. Suggest you take your friends out of here before I decide to feed them to the crocodiles. And if you are to succeed me on the throne, you had better realize that the soft-hearted are also the soft-headed. And when you rule, it is with an iron fist.
Now Pharaoh demonstrates how hard his heart is and how iron his fist is with a little song.
I'll never let the children go to slaves until they die.
Billy Joel style rock and roll song.
It's too bad they're not happy. It's too bad they're feeling hurt. Too bad for the
too
bird.
bad singing with me now. I think it's actually pretty cool that you got a talking donkey and raven, but I'm here to worship Satan. Oh, it's Donkey Ollie.
I've got one answer. Forget they're even here.
Play that 90s sitcom opening theme song music, baby.
Here, Pharaoh.
I admit it's pretty crazy.
Oh, more of the song. Okay.
You said you're piece impressive. I heard you loud and clear. I've got one answer. Forget they're even here.
I love how the song is trying to I admit that it's pretty cool that this donkey and raven can sing, but also I'm not giving up the children.
He's not just a Pharaoh, he's a scat man. Go for it, Pharaoh.
Scooby-da-baba-da-booba-da-baba-da-booba-da-baba. I'm Pharaoh, baby.
Wow, is this how everyone feels when we're singing our songs?
Also, can you please give me the power of man's red flower
So I can be like you.
Oh, I walk like you, talk like you do. Someone like me can learn to be like someone like me.
Choobity-boo.
You know, Pharaoh,
You have a pretty good singing voice for a human.
there's a much higher power than yours.
So, young Ramses, this is the kind of insolence you bring before my throne? Guards, lock these two up next to the crocodile pit.
That's when young Ramses speaks truth to power.
Please, Father. They only speak the truth. Don't lock my friends up.
My son, of all the treachery, you too would betray your throne to follow this Hebrew god?
I supported you going to those weird furry conventions, but this is too far.
Jesus Christ.
Why must you harden your heart so, Father?
Let's give credit where credit is due. Pharaoh did not harden his heart. God hardened Pharaoh's heart.
I know I'm no god, but a mere mortal.
You can't become a god if you follow this donkey into battle. If you follow this Jesus guy who definitely exists at the same time as Pharaoh of Egypt.
Even though your heart, Father, shall not be immune from his love.
Who, Jesus or the donkey?
That's when Pharaoh starts to wonder if maybe his son is having some sort of romantic relationship with this donkey and raven.
Go to your room, Ramses.
That's when Rupert decides to take matters into his own beak.
I've had enough of this.
Screw
do this.
You land creatures will never take me prisoner.
And murders Pharaoh.
I don't wanna be a jailbird. Watch.
No, please, no. Why? Why?
'Cause I'm a free bird.
Free bird.
Free bird now.
Guys, if this is the kind of singing you bring into my home, you're going to jail.
That's how it's gonna be. I don't wanna be a jailbird in ball and chains, listed by numbers, no one knows my name.
Now, I do have to say, my favorite part of the story of Moses is when the raven starts to sing to Pharaoh. This is a pretty good, accurate representation of what happens in that story. Now, you won't see that in Prince of Egypt or the Ten Commandments, but this is actually very biblically accurate. Is this, are you just screwing with me now? There's been far too many Rupert songs in this.
I heard a guitar talking to me.
Well, that's when they decide that Rupert has to go.
Shoot! Shoot the bird!
Shoot the bastard. Rupert flies away, finally, and then crashes, and he's been shot. So Pharaoh's daughter saves him, and he's bloody. He's just so much blood because it's a Donkey Ollie episode.
There's blood all over you. What happened? Who could have done this to you?
Pharaoh was
Why does he have teeth?
Pharaoh was going to put me in prison with Ollie.
Not with Ollie. I mean, I'd go to prison, but not with him, that's for sure.
Rupert, you've been shot. Let me put a mud pack on that.
There's so many weird inclusions in this. Let me put a mud pack on that.
I can hide you here, but you're going to have to promise to be really quiet. You think you can do that?
I can try.
You can hide here in my home.
So that's when Pharaoh's son's girlfriend starts to sing, but it sounds like she's 30 feet further away than she was when she was talking. They have so many oddly specific songs.
Huh? What is she saying?
This song is actually kind of funny because she's singing like it's a pretty song, but what she's singing about is all the morbid things that are going to happen to Rupert.
Everybody's
That's
lips.
what it's time
From across
for the big chariot race that they teased in the last episode.
Dignitary.
Wow, they held
Rome,
on to their
Syria,
things,
Greece,
though.
Persia, Ethiopia.
I have a goose and I'm from Ethiopia. Meanwhile, we cut over to Barshed and Jehu.
Barshed, is there any news of my nephew and niece, or Ollie and Rupert?
I sought to avoid telling you, Jehu. There's been news, but the news has been bad.
There's been news, but the news has been bad. They're dead.
It seems the Pharaoh got upset with Ollie and had him imprisoned. Ramses has been confined to his room, and Rupert was hit by arrows on his way flying out of the palace.
It was all in the Sunday morning newspaper.
As for your nephew and niece, they are still under the watchful care of the kindly cook Potiphar.
Wait, who did he say?
Potiphar.
Potiphar, huh? Our favorite biblical character, Potiphar, is the nephew and niece gonna have to deny Potiphar's wife from having sex with them? Is that what happens?
I'm afraid that it is up to you to win the race and win their freedom.
Are they just doing the Bible in reverse then? Does this end with Adam and Eve, but it's actually Donkey Ollie is Adam? He like ends up in this garden and he's like,
Wow, I can't believe I have to name all the animals.
Is that what happens? Let's find out.
In all my life of training chariot drivers, I have never seen one take so readily to the skills and become one with his team of horses.
You really became one with those horses last night.
You have mastered the secret, Jehu, and you have earned their love. Go feed the horses some oats.
Then when I shall, for the honor of my people and for the deliverance of Ollie and the children.
That's when we get another song, probably?
When the odds are stacked against us and there's nowhere left to go.
Yes, what happened?
The race goes to the swiftest and leaves behind the slow.
That's true.
I can win this chariot race, save those who are mine.
It's like, you should try out for Egyptian Idol, not race these chariots.
Race not second place.
I mean, it is true, because 2 is not a winner and 3 no one remembers.
I'll win this race.
Wow, he could win the race without the horses. That's pretty impressive. What's going on? I will run like Eric Little.
Jehu's skill with the chariot had improved, but would it be enough to save Jonathan and Rhea?
You don't.
We'll see.
No. Are you kidding me right now? Look, they teased the chariot race last episode, and they end it like that. I'm really mad now. I'm actually genuinely, the only thing that could cure the anger and the sadness in my heart is Farmer John's Corner.
Farmer John's Corner?
Hi there. We're making a few
Holy
snacks.
Crap, look at all the Farmer John's Corner. It's all our favorite people. We got Mr. Butthole, this girl, Mrs. Butthole. Who are these two new people? So much going on here.
And Hi, Mr. Shivers here.
Mr. Fissures.
Today we're making, what are we making?
Ants on a log?
Ants on a log.
Ants on a log.
I knew it.
You get some peanut butter and a piece of celery, and you spread the peanut butter into the crevice of the celery.
And then you stick
just like this. Yes, nice and smooth, just as I planned. Yes, perfect.
Farmer John cannot stand somebody else.
I don't like bullies.
Cover it up.
I don't know anybody who does. But sometimes you can get the bully to work with you. Let me show you how.
That wasn't a bully thing. That was like a, I guess, rude thing. But he wasn't like, you suck, Farmer John. You are involved in a series of TV programs that are supposed to be for kids, but suck. You suck. That's what a bully would say. Wait, that's what I say. Am I a bully?
And now we need the ants.
And I've got them right here. Fire ants.
I'm gonna murder you, Farmer John, and eat your flesh and wear your skin.
Real ants.
And sometimes you need a little help from your friends.
Look, I gotta show you the tractor. I mean, Farmer John's tractor.
Dude, Farmer John has this whole town on lock. Mr. Budinsky will do his bidding. He will whack anybody.
Yes, nice and smooth, just as I planned. Yes, perfect.
Green cheese, my favorite.
That didn't even teach us a lesson. Now it's time for our sneak peek at the future episodes.
It's the day of the big race, and all of Jehu's skills will be needed.
All of his skills?
To the winner today will go any wish he desires, up to half my kingdom.
Did he say he could go anywhere he desires? Up to half the kingdom? What if you're on a game show and that's what it was? You can travel anywhere within 10 miles of the studio. You're welcome.
Bye now!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That was episode 8 of Donkey Ollie. How many more episodes are there? There's only no way to find out other than like actually looking it up. And I'm not gonna do that. I haven't cared enough to know what a crappy show that turned out to be. I mean, I'm sorry. What I meant to say is what a wonderful program for children. We got the death of some animals. The perfect thing to watch at Halloween time, and that's why I do it every year. What a tradition this has become. I love it. I can't wait to find out more about who understands Donkey and the lore and the rules of the universe, just to watch the series break them the very next episode. That's all I've got to say for today. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you all later. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell button and hit the like button and just like me in general. Just be my friend. Please don't criticize me ever. I hate it. I'll talk to you guys later. Good night. Hey, a big shout out to all these amazing people who you see listed right here and others who aren't listed right here who support me either on Patreon or with SGK+. They're the reason this show gets to keep going and I get to keep making these for you guys, so you all owe them a big thank you. I especially wanted to give a very specific shout out to Wayne F. Watley Jr., who has been kind enough to not be upset at me when I accidentally use my template and forget to put his name in the ending of the videos. Thank you so much. And my deepest and most sincere apologies. Everybody who pledges is so nice and kind and, yeah, great group of people over there. Well, now it's time for something a little new I've decided to try this week. For all 5 of you who have stuck around to the very end of the video, I'm gonna call it Kevin's Closing Thoughts. Look, the thing about this show is I find it extremely fascinating. It's consistently just plain wrong about Pretty much everything. They've dedicated themselves to making an animated show, which is not a simple task, I have to imagine, and yet the animation that they do is just the worst possible. In the same way, they've dedicated to making a Bible show, and it feels like a child was asked about Bible stories and to recap the Bible for them, and they made this show. But if you're gonna do that, why wouldn't you read about it? Just history in general. It looks like there were no pharaohs after the time of Jesus, so clearly this wouldn't make any sense. It's just phenomenal that that a show could get things so wrong and work so hard at it. Like, you couldn't do this. I almost feel like if you tried to make a show that missed the mark on so many different ways, you couldn't do it. And I think that goes hand in hand with the whole who can talk and who can't talk. Like, if you're gonna bring so much attention to the fact that donkeys can't talk in this universe, or only certain people can understand them and everything, why do you spend so much time establishing the rules of who can talk and who can't talk when you're just gonna break them? Why would you even bring it up? Just have it be a show with a donkey that can talk. It doesn't it doesn't make any sense, and that's why we love it.
I have never seen one take so readily to the skills and become one with his team of horses. You have mastered the secret, Jehu,